Hey, welcome back, Oklahoma. It's 9:10 Thursday morning, and this week, Senate Bill 1778 passed the House this week. It's a new law set to help make Oklahoma kids stronger readers, a major pillar of the Oklahoma Competes plan as well. Right now, we are learning more about the initiative and the impact that the state chamber hopes it has in the future. So let's welcome in Brent Skarky. Thank you so much for being
How are
here,
you?
Brent. You know, I'm well. I know you all are pretty busy.
It is a busy time of year.
When it comes to just getting all of the bills that you all are kind of lobbying for there at the state capitol through to the governor's desk. But I want to talk this morning about Oklahoma Competes plan. For people at home watching right now, they may not be familiar with it. Break it down for them.
Well, we kicked it off back in November, but it's really been a year-long process, actually 2 to 3 year-long process. Oklahoma just not making those strides to grow our economy the way we want to. And time again, we're in on this company, we're in on that company, and they're not coming to Oklahoma. We wanted to know why. We hired in a very, very high-end team to really take a look at the economic landscape of Oklahoma. We learned there are 4 things that Oklahoma needs to compete in to be able to compete with Texas, to be able to compete with the rest of the country. That's economic climate, and we're doing fine there. We're the #1 state in the union in the cost of doing business. Second, infrastructure. Our roads have gotten a lot better in the last 10 to 20 years. We're fine there, but the 2 things we're really lacking on, education and workforce and innovation. And you mentioned education. 3rd grade reading scores in Oklahoma have been bad for 20 years, 25 years.
Okay.
And that's something that this Senate bill is really focusing on, the Strong Readers Act. We made the social media campaign, I don't know, back in September, October. What if Oklahoma's football teams, OU and OSU, were in the bottom 10% of their conferences for 25 years?
A lot of fans would not be happy about that.
The heads would be rolling. We've got to think that way when it comes to reading scores, because when it comes to 3rd grade reading scores, that translates into success down the line. It translates to success for those people, but it also translates for companies as well. Educated workforce means higher productivity, means better products, means more innovation.
And I'm glad that you broke it down and explained it in that way, because people might see, you're the state chamber, why are you talking about Strong Readers Act? Why is this important for you all? And it all goes back to career readiness and making sure we're growing the job market here in Oklahoma. But what have you all heard from the state, the Oklahomans reaching out to the state chamber, or just through some of the research y'all have done? What do people think about reading here in Oklahoma? What do they think about the reading levels?
I think everyone has a concern that it's not where it needs to be. There are different plans, there are different opinions on every single facet of a 3rd grade reading score improvement plan, but we're just happy to be part of the conversation. We know it's important for Oklahoma's workforce, so we're pushing for what other states have done successfully. Everyone's heard of the Mississippi Miracle. We like to call it the Mississippi Marathon, because it has taken quite a while for them to get where they are. But they have sustained higher reading scores. They were back with us in 2012 at the very bottom of the bin.
Wow.
But this Stronger Reading Act is very similar to what Mississippi has done. It has more reading coaches to make sure not just the kids are getting more instruction, but the teachers are getting instruction in the way to properly educate kids on the science of reading. There are more tests along the way, there's more interaction with those students, and of course the retention part is part of it, but it's all a focus to get those kids making sure they are good to go reading-wise by 3rd grade, because until 3rd grade, you learn to read. After 3rd grade, you read to learn.
Exactly. So now that this has had some progress here on the House side of the Capitol, what is next for Senate Bill 1778, the Strong Readers Act?
There's some financial components to it, specifically with reading coaches and whatnot. So it goes back to the Senate for a tweak there, but then that will go on to the governor's desk. We're thinking that will pass this week onto the governor's desk, and so it'll be on him to put his name on it, but we're pretty confident that'll get through. Speaker Hilbert is backing it on the House side, and the chair of the Education Committee on the Senate side, Adam Pugh, is the leader there. So 2 of the big guns when it comes to legislators, and I think this is going to get through, and hopefully it will lead down the line to a better, stronger Oklahoma.
Okay, encouraging signs from you all over the state chamber. What impact do you hope that this plan, Oklahoma Competes as a whole, what do you hope it has on our students, the job market here in Oklahoma as well?
Well, I mentioned the education and workforce that we're struggling in. We're also struggling in innovation, and that's another key component for our legislative agenda this year. We've got 2 bills, one that improves R&D facilities in Oklahoma, and one that makes it easier for OU and OSU professors to take their discoveries in the lab and make companies, make discoveries profitable for them down the line. We haven't updated some of those codes since the 1980s, and other states are doing it very well, and they make great discoveries in those labs, and then that translates into a company, into a product, into a business on the outside that attracts a ton of high-end jobs and very smart people that grows the economy in their states.
Bringing eyes and people and bigger here, businesses to Oklahoma.
And those high-end jobs are the ones you want, those intellectual jobs that are the big salaries, that have the trickle-down effect when it comes to the rest of the economy. And those are the ones that we're lacking in right now. We have lost advanced industry jobs over the last 5 years. We're the only state in the union that has done that. We've got to get those high-end jobs back in Oklahoma.
All right, people watching right now, they want to learn more about Oklahoma Competes, the plan. Where can they go to read more?
OKStateChamber.com. We've got the entire plan there. We've got some more information on some of the bills that we are pushing for, and some of the initiatives that aren't necessarily legislation that are part of that Oklahoma Competes plan.
Okay, something the state chamber is keeping a close eye on. Senate Bill 1778 now returning to the Senate. We are going to keep a close eye on it here on KOCO, but we are going to get over to our weather forecast right now. Time to check that out with meteorologist Michaela